everybody, my name is Asher and welcome to my channel. Today I'm excited to finally bring to you a series that is testosterone all in one place. When I was going through this, I was having such a hard time finding information about the kind of testosterones that were available here in Australia. And when I was on the Facebook groups, I noticed that there was a lot of information out there or people saying certain things that once I did the research, I actually found were myths. So I decided that I was actually going to utilize my skills in literature review from when I did my Master's of Science in Counseling and be able to try to break everything down for people. So if they want to be able to just go to one place to learn more about the different kinds of testosterone that's available. I don't know a lot about what's available in Europe or India or Asia or anything like that. I was able to find a lot of the research about what's offered in the United States, updated information about what's available in the United States compared to what was available 10 years ago, and what's available here in Australia and the pros and cons of those types of testosterone. So just to give you an idea of what I've been going through, I'm 36 years old, and I've only been medically transitioning for about 11 weeks. But I have learned a lot about the experiences and the different testosterones that are out there. I have other videos about those transition experiences up to 11 weeks. I missed week 9 and 10. I'm sorry. I was actually quite busy trying to get this video together. So there we go. Disclosure number 1. I am not a scientist and I am not a doctor. I'm simply speaking from personal experience and what I have found in my own research regarding this particular subject. Disclosure number 2. A lot of the information found relating to the type of testosterone I am on with regards to expectations of growth and change comes from studies actually done with a combination of what's called Hypogonadal Men and Transgender Men, with more provided under the former rather than the latter, unfortunately. However, these are the studies that were primarily used to determine prescribing recommendations for GAHT in Australia. GAHT, by the way, it stands for Gender Affirming Hormone Therapy. That's the general usage of a word for what we would typically call in more layman's terms HRT or TRT, hormone replacement therapy or testosterone replacement therapy. Back to what I was saying, the prescribing recommendations for GAHT in Australia was used primarily, and I think also for Nebido in Europe as well. It's been used mostly for hypogonadal men and transgender men. So it's a combination. So anyway, without further ado, let's get started. There are 4 main categories or methods of testosterone used for GAHT, and they all come with their own pros and their own cons. The one I'm going to talk about today is topicals. And a lot of people start using testosterone via topical gel or lotion. And so I want to start there, mostly just to provide the most information and most accurate information that I could find regarding the topical stuff. There's a lot of myths out there. There's a lot of people that say a lot of things. A lot of it's just based on personal experience and genetics, not necessarily what can be expected for everyone. So we'll try and keep it more, I don't want to say scientific, but more factual than personal, if you will. I'm technically only on an injectable that's injected once every 12 weeks on average. I'm not on topical, so I can't tell you from personal experience what that's like. I can only tell you what's been found in the actual literature. So we're gonna go ahead and go into topicals. They can be usually found in gels or lotions, either in sachets or pump action bottles that basically, 1, 2, 3, whatever your doctor says in pumps, is supposed to distribute a certain percentage of testosterone per milliliter in that pump. Or you'll be given sachets and told to do 1 sachet, half a sachet, 2 sachets, whatever your prescription says. Please follow what your doctor is telling you and don't use any more or less than what they're telling you. The reason they're giving you that is to match up with your levels and to bring you up to normal cis male levels in a safe way. So please, please, please follow the prescribing instructions on your prescription. Back to the actual information. Some topical gels or lotions that you'll find are either name brand or generic. Some of the name brands include things, some names like Androgel in Australia, or Testogel in Australia. I know Androgel is also in Europe, and I think it's available in the United States. A lot of times in the United States, just to make it more affordable, you'll actually find a lot of generic options. So look into that. The Testogel or other types of topical testosterone via gel or lotions, most of the time gel, are covered under the Pharmaceutical Benefit Scheme in Australia. That program, the Pharmaceutical Benefit Scheme, is also known as PBS here, and that program is where a percentage of the costs are covered, but it's only certain medications, and they're paid for through the public healthcare system, what we also call here Medicare, similar to the United States. The topical gels are also approved in the United States as a common method. The gels and lotions have a mixed bag of reviews and the expected responses. And that makes sense. The reason that makes sense is because there's multiple factors that play into how well a topical gel or lotion works for each person. It has a lot to do with kidney function, liver function, absorption rates, cleanliness of the skin when it's applied, putting on enough, giving the time required for it to fully absorb before you put your clothes on. If you accidentally shower too early or get in the water too early, you might be affecting how much testosterone your body's absorbing that day. Also, you have to remember to put it on every day. It is not something that you only put on once a week or once a month, or, it's not usually something you put on twice a day. It's only once a day. And you can only put it on certain parts of your body. Your upper arms, very few allow for the stomach or the chest area. Please talk to your doctor, because every gel or lotion brand or type can sometimes change what where you can put it on. Gels, they do have one major con, especially if you have pets or partners. Touching or being touched where you've put on your gels or lotions is a massive no-no until you shower or wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water. Even then, it's kind of a risk. So they want you to make sure you don't touch these things or these areas for a number of hours. You can't go into the shower, the bath, or swimming at the beach or a pool or anything like that for some say an hour, some say 3, some say 6. That might actually depend on the brand. Again, follow the recommendations and instructions on your prescription, and read the brochures that come with that particular brand or generic testosterone to get the right parameters for the type you are using, because there is such a range of options. Gels for the pros are actually really great for microdosing for people who are trans, masculine, or even non-binary that want some amount of change but not too much, or a trans masculine person that's young that might want to very slowly move themselves, or older, actually, let's not make it young or old, just a person who wants to transition at a slightly slower rate. Now, here's why I say slightly slower pace of transition. The end result, an expected masculinizing effects, ends up being about the same amount of time. It's just that it's a bit of a slower process and it's a bit more gradual. But again, some people with their genetics, it doesn't matter at all what kind of testosterone you're taking. It actually works pretty quickly. Again, that all depends on all the different factors: absorption rates, how well you are at doing it every day, whether or not your skin is clean, your kidney and your liver function. All of that goes into how well any testosterone is going to work for you, and especially in gels. Anybody can start on hormone therapy usually with a gel, because it is so gradual, because it's not very expensive. You have generic options, because it's really great for microdosing. This might be the way to start for you, and it is for the majority. A lot of doctors prefer to start people on gel because it's a much slower process. The myths are, you're going to get really hairy arms or really hairy chest. Some people do experience that. They experience that the gels and the lotions, because you're putting that testosterone directly against your skin, obviously the hormone that impacts hair growth is going against your skin in those particular areas. We can't actually say that it's caused by the androgel or the testogel or the lotions or anything like that. We can't say that it's caused by the action of putting the gels and the lotions directly onto the skin. That's a correlation. And the difference is, we have a variable. Is that change in that one variable actually the cause of the reaction, or is it just correlated as a possibility? And that's more what it is. There's no clear study that says testosterone gel and lotion forms are going to give you hairier arms. Like there is no causational result of a study that says that. It's just correlated as such. So is it a risk that you possibly take? Is it a possible result that might occur? Yes, but it's not guaranteed. Everybody's different. Everybody's bodies are different. Everybody's genetics are different. Right now on injections, I'm not getting any hairier on my upper body at all at this stage. Now, mind you, I've only been on it for 11 weeks. So who knows? I might end up with some. So am I not gaining hair in those areas as quickly because of gel? Or is it that my genetics, because I have Native American in me, and they have a tendency to not actually have a lot of body hair, is that why I'm not really seeing any major changes in body hair in my chest and my arms? We won't know. We won't know for some time. So please just keep these pros and cons in mind when you are trying to determine what is the best method for you in your own journey of gender affirmation and using hormone therapy. Other topical methods that I will bring up that not a lot of people are talking about, but are very effective after you've started testosterone in another way, is the patch method. Some trans men experience amazing success with the patch. However, if you review the actual prescribing recommendations throughout different countries, it says that hormone therapy should really only be started using a different kind of testosterone, whether it's gels, whether it's injectables or other forms. Those are the primary forms. You should not start on the patch. It's fantastic for maintaining testosterone levels once they're up there, and usually after at least a year, because they really help steady everything over a period of time. Beyond that, I think that's about it for talking about topicals and gels and lotions. If yet that's what you're interested in, if you were wondering about that, those are the actual facts. Not everybody medically transitions. I think it's 70% of people who are transgender do not medically transition. They're okay with just binding and using probably different makeup strategies in order to appear more masculine. Some really just need their names to change and their pronouns to change and to dress and appear more masculine, but they don't necessarily want some of the effects that testosterone cause, or are most likely to cause, they're just not comfortable with some of those changes. So they don't need to medically transition. For some, they want to medically transition, but they can't because of something, for whatever medical reason, they're unable to do so. So this particular video and this series of videos is for those who are considering medically transitioning and what actual options are there for you. If I am wrong, if you have other resources that you would like to provide to me to educate me further, please, by all means, send them to me or put them in the comments below so that we can get better, more accurate information out there for people who want to medically transition. I hope that this video that kind of consolidated some of the information regarding gels or other topicals help you in determining or talking to your doctor about what kind of gender affirmation hormone therapy you would like to use. Just as a side note, down below in the description, I'm actually going to provide all of the citations for the things that I've said today, and probably I'm actually going to put the script for this video, this section anyway, down below as well, just so that if you want to read through it, you don't want to have to listen to all of my little, wafflings through the video. If you want to just read the information that I kind of wrote down that guided this video, it is down below in the description box for you, and you can review those websites yourself, and possibly even branch out and find more to provide back to the community. So please, by all means, feel free to do that. If I'm wrong about anything, that's fine. Please tell me. I'm open to all of those criticisms and recommendations, and I can review them as well. And I would love to educate myself further in this, especially if I'm going to put videos like this out there. So please, by all means, send me a literature review if you would like. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace.